I did have like a breakthrough the other day as to why I don't talk about my stories on here and why it's so hard for me to talk about my books. I used to tell myself it was because I was afraid that someone was going to steal my ideas and that they were going to make a better book than I could and that they were going to publish it before me. And like part of that is still true, don't get me wrong. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, my name is Skew. I'm an upper YA/new adult fantasy author trying to make my way into the publishing industry. Just trying. I've written 2 novels now. I am on like draft 7 or 8 for one of them. That's my heart and soul novel, The Imaginarium, that I would love for it to be my debut. And I'm on draft 2.5/3 for Fault of Dragons, which is my new adult novel that has romance in it, and I'm just trying to see how it works. And y'all really don't know anything about these books. Nothing. Like, I've barely posted anything about them. I went through draft 1 of The Imaginarium when I was first writing it, and I went through working on it, and I would comment things, and I would give you little tidbits about like my characters and the story, but there's no real like, this is what the book is about. You don't know. You really don't know. Because when I was younger, my parents were extremely religious. I'm a little afraid talking about this on this app, but I feel like it's kind of important for other people to hear. So I'm going to continue. Now, mind you, I was young and I was writing a story and I was really excited about it, and I went to show it to someone important in my life, and then I was introduced to a higher up person in this church that this person belonged to. I'm being really cryptic now because I'm scared that this is somehow going to get back to them and that it's going to hurt them, and I don't want this to hurt them. I just kind of want people to understand what you tell young kids does stay with them for the rest of their life. Basically, when I met this person that was higher up in the church, they met me, they shook my hand, they said, "Hi, nice to meet you, I'm so-and-so. I've heard great things about you." And I said, "Hi, it's nice to meet you too." And then I walked away. And then I was later told by the person that is close to me that the other person, the higher up person, saw the devil in my eyes. Now, mind you, I'm like 13, 14, maybe even 12 at this point. I can't remember. I'm younger. I'm in the dumb teenage years, and I had just written something that I was proud of, and I showed it to this person, and then I was introduced and I was told I had the devil in my eyes and that I was pure evil. Do these 2 things coincide? Possibly not. There is a very high probability that they don't coincide at all. I really don't know. But they might. And then another time when I was really excited about something, I was going through a phase. I was like experimenting with how gross I could make things like sound. Like, it was some of my best writing, but it was really graphic and gory and gross, and it shouldn't have come out of me. And like, I don't blame a fellow student that I showed on the bus. Like, I don't blame them stopping reading it and looking at me and going, "Skew," they said my real name, but "Skew, I'm gonna pray with you because I feel like we both need this." This was like a junior high student, like 8th grade. This happened. They stopped reading what I was excited to show them, and they bowed their heads and they prayed with me. Now, I can't show my book to my mom ever. No offense to her, she cannot read it. That it's too graphic and violent, and it's going to bother her. So I'm not even going to let her read it because I know it would bother her. But I still bounce ideas off of her, and she allows me to do that, and I appreciate that so much that she allows me to do that. And there are going to be people like my aunt tried to read this book, and she can't read it. I went too graphic. I went too far in one of the versions of The Imaginarium, and it bothers you. Like, that's kind of the whole point of it, is it's supposed to bother you, but it bothers you. And so because of that, because of all of that, I'm terrified to talk to anybody about my book, because I'm scared that they're going to come back with me with some sort of, I think we need to pray over you now. Now, I was born and raised in the Catholic Church. I also have been involved in many different religious organizations just because of lots of different things in my life. I am no longer a part of any organized religion. I consider myself spiritual. I believe in energies, and I believe in more of the like paganistic traditions and rituals than I do any Christian religious anything. Not talking bad about any of that. Like I said, I was born and raised Catholic. I am baptized as Catholic. I went through First Communion. Like, I was in the church heavily. I was in the church choir. I was in youth. I don't have an issue with anybody believing what they believe. I just don't believe that anymore. And part of it is because of these instances where I showed my work, my storytelling abilities, and I was super excited about them, and then I was immediately prayed over, or I was told that I have the devil in my eyes and I'm pure evil and I need to be saved for writing stories that were in my head. I understand it for the second one, because again, I was trying something. I was trying to get a reaction out of people. I was going dark, but it was really well written if you read past the gross stuff. But for the first one, like I said, I can't quite remember how old I was. It was like between 12 and 14, and all I said was I had stupid, the word stupid, in the first page of my book, and that always was my connection as to why this person thought that I had the devil in my eyes. So the moral of all of this, the reason that I am telling you this is because I want you to be really, really careful what you tell young artists and what you tell young storytellers, because they hold on to that shit. And it is to the point where I cannot talk about my work for fear of some type of retribution. Now, granted, I understand being an artist and putting yourself out there and putting your work into the world, you are going to get criticism. It's going to happen. And I understand that now. As an adult, I understand that now, because this is my chosen career that I am pursuing. But when I was a kid, I had no idea that this is what I wanted to do when I grow up. Like, I was under the impression that I was going to be a singer and a dancer. And then I got injured, and that's a whole other story. But that was what I was pursuing. The writing was always just a hobby for me. It was something that I did. I didn't realize that it was my passion. It is what I want to do with the rest of my life. And so you really have to be careful about what you tell kids. Because whatever interests they have, it may end up being what they do for the rest of their life. And what you tell them may end up changing how they decide to share themselves with the world. So I guess that's it. That's kind of, I mean, if you made it this far, good on you, because this is a very extremely long video. And so I'm gonna post this on YouTube because like it's really long, and I'm not expecting anyone on this app to actually listen to it. But if you did, I really, really appreciate it, and I'm curious if any of it resonated with you. I just want y'all to be careful what you tell people, especially young people who are trying to do something creative. The world is already going to eat them up. And like, criticism that is constructive is absolutely essential to a young up-and-coming artist, author, creative. But just telling them that they're evil? For what? Saying stupid? Anyways, keep on reading, keep on writing, and staying awesome out there. And don't let the haters tell you that you can't. So, thank you for listening.